welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Monday Night Raw. Kyle Mathews here alongside Christopher Pierce, and we're going to get things started with the Raw Women's Champion, Carmella.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Can you feel it, Kyle? Survivor Series, we're right on the brink of it. Next weekend is going to be SmackDown versus Raw Survivor Series, and these are the lead-up episodes to it, and we're going to get a little bit of a showcase of what Raw is going to bring to the table at Survivor Series here tonight.
Absolutely. Getting things started with the women's match, and teams for Survivor Series are getting completed here as we speak. Going to see how these teams finalize and see what we're going to get for Survivor Series. It should be exciting.
And I ended up finding out from Jimmy Bly that Carmella is going to be the leader of Team Raw for the women's division, and she's actually getting to find out right now who her two partners are, and one of them is going to be former women's champion and Paige.
And here comes Victoria, someone we new to the roster here, just when the roster's expanded, so good to see her back here.
Maybe one of the strongest women that we've ever seen on the roster here, and definitely a great pick, I would have to say, for Team Raw for the Women's Survivor Series matchup. I mean, this looks like a pretty formidable team right now.
Absolutely. I mean, and here comes another one in Natalya. So I mean, you got a lot of veteran leadership here with Victoria and Natalya, and Paige has been around for a few years too, so it should be good.
Yeah, and so right now Natalya looks like Natalya is going to be on the opposing team for the Raw Women's Survivor Series team, and also, how about this? A former #1 contender for the Raw Women's Championship. She was unsuccessful in defeating Carmella last week, but she's in action tonight, maybe going to be able to get some revenge on the women's champion.
Absolutely. We all know that Jimmy Bly's probably disappointed he can't be here right now, but luckily with him not here, we should both be able to focus on this match.
Should, keyword.
Yes.
And maybe one of the most athletic women on the roster, Naomi. Can you feel the glow, Kyle?
Oh, yeah.
And one thing I notice here, too, is you don't have a lot of, jobbers coming out here to kind of give a bit of a warm-up match to the Raw Survivor Series team. These are bona fide women's wrestlers, a couple of former champions, and this should be very interesting. Now, this is the usual Survivor Series elimination rules. If you get pinned or submitted, you head to the back, and whoever's left standing for their team, that team is the victor.
Absolutely. Nice teamwork there by Carmella and Paige on Natalya here. Paige setting Natalya up for something there, but gets open a nice counter there.
And we saw last week on SmackDown when we saw the Raw Survivor Series team taking on the New Day, we got to see just exactly how much of a well-oiled machine that team was. This is a perfect opportunity here for Paige, Victoria, and the women's champion Carmella to kind of get to know the ins and outs of each other, so that way they know what to bring to the table against SmackDown in about a week's time at Survivor Series.
Absolutely. Great way to test things out right here. And you really don't see a whole lot of, alliances formed in the women's division, so, it's a good idea to, throw 6 of them into a tag team match and see what kind of chemistry can be developed.
I have to agree with you. I think the only time you ever really see anybody on the roster, unless they're a tag team, it really is Survivor Series. It kind of puts let's put our differences aside, let's focus on the opposing brand and do our best to try and beat them. It's like the one and only time you're willing to align with who could be on the roster, your bitterest enemy.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the irony of it right there. And, nice swinging neck breaker there by Natalya.
And you got to wonder,
Maria.
You got to wonder what's going through the mind of Natalya, Maria, Naomi. Obviously, probably disappointed they weren't named to the Raw Women's Survivor Series team. But I mean, this is an opportunity for them to make a statement here tonight. Kind of show, hey, even though we weren't able to make it onto the team, we are able to beat a team like that.
Absolutely, and it's a way they can just represent Raw in general, trying to say, hey, we have the better women's division over here. Just take a look at what we can do.
This is kind of interesting here. One-on-one, Carmella Maria, shades of last week when Maria took on Carmella for that Raw Women's Championship. Was unsuccessful. Carmella retained, but Maria here maybe trying to get a little bit of revenge, a little bit of payback for not being able to win the championship last week.
Oh, maybe there. I mean, she's, probably still got to be disappointed that she didn't walk away with the Raw Women's title last week, but put up a great effort against Carmella.
And I have to say that probably, just looking at, I mean, I know we've said that we've proved with last week's championship retaining for Carmella that she's not a fluke after she won the championship in that six-pack challenge. But I have to say, looking at the Raw team, Carmella's kind of the wild card. I mean, we know about the power of Victoria, we know about the submission possibilities that Paige can bring to the table, but Carmella's kind of an unknown here on what she might be able to bring to the benefit of the team.
I totally think so. I mean, and it seems like Carmella's out to, out to prove to everybody, that she belongs here, that she belongs, that she deserves to be women's champion right now, and I honestly think she's proven it so far.
And definitely, this is a perfect opportunity for Carmella as well to kind of establish her leadership, show that she can lead a team like Victoria and Paige, kind of lead by example here.
And tag made. Here comes Naomi, and Carmella going over to her corner and tags in Victoria.
Wow, this will be interesting. The athleticism of Naomi versus the strength and power of Victoria. And now, as the week draws on, we're continuing to see the card continue to build here for Survivor Series. We now know who are going to be the women in that Survivor Series matchup. Of course, we know for Team Raw right here, Carmella, Paige, and Victoria. And then we know for SmackDown, they'll be taking on the SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte, as well as Bayley and Sasha Banks. So we know what the Women's Survivor Series matchup looks like now.
They got, three of the best over here on Raw taking on three of the four horsewomen over on SmackDown. Kind of funny how that worked out. See, and the funny thing is, we know those three have a lot of history and probably have some chemistry together. So, going to see how the three women over here on Raw can compete against those three.
Yeah, you're right. They have a lot of history, but in that history, not exactly all friendliness. A lot of animosity there between those three as well at certain points of their career. So we'll have to see if egos or if those problems that were had between the three of the four horsewomen, if those come to light at Survivor Series.
Naomi working on Victoria here. Elbows right to the face, finally knocking her down.
Also tonight...
What a nice...
Oh, go ahead.
Let's say a nice, like a hurricanrana there.
And tonight in our main event, this is one of two traditional Survivor Series matches we're going to be having here tonight. Tonight as well, the Raw men's team will actually be in action tonight. Not exactly sure who they're going to be facing, but we will see Michael Norman, AJ Styles, and Kurt Angle in action as well in a traditional Survivor Series matchup.
That should be fun to watch, and Paige getting the tag. Paige and Natalya going at it. Those two have no stranger to one another. They've had several matches here in the past.
Now, obviously, with Survivor Series, I'm going to be rooting for Team Blue, obviously. That's where my alliance is. But I have to admit, right now, Carmella, Paige, and Victoria, they're looking like they're working very well together. I'm really impressed.
Absolutely. Nice swinging neck breaker there by Paige, working on Naomi, slamming her head against the mat, being very aggressive right now.
Yeah, Paige kind of, for want of a better word, a little bit of mental unstableness sometimes. When she gets really fired up, a lot of times she's very unpredictable in what she's going to do.
Oh, yeah, and that makes her dangerous, to her opponents.
Oh,
and
Paige Turner! That could be it, and here comes Victoria and Carmella to make sure no one gets involved. Oh, but Maria just snuck through.
Boy, just a split second away from Naomi getting eliminated there. Now Paige at Rampage.
And that could do it. Oh, I think Naomi may have kicked out. Yeah. Natalya and Maria doing their best to get in there to break it up, but I think you're right. I think Naomi was able to kick out of the Rampage, which that's quite a testament to Naomi's fortitude.
Oh yeah, I mean that was a signature and a finisher move there by Paige back to back there. Naomi was able to kick out. Now look at Naomi going to town on Paige.
Maria and Natalya liking what they're seeing, and now here comes Maria in. Whoa, kind of a fireman's carry there by Maria.
Paige able to fight back, though. She's thrown into the turnbuckle. Not a good spot to be in over in the opposite corner. Natalya gets the tag. And nice teamwork here by Maria and Natalya here.
Now, it's not our main event, but after this matchup, we've got the y.W.c World Championship on the line. Remember back when Samoa Joe was in that fatal four-way matchup? Wow, a discus clothesline there by Natalya. Samoa Joe, maybe one of the quickest fatal four-way matches I have ever seen, and Samoa Joe tonight gets his title match against the current champion, John Cena.
And you said that's not even the main event. I mean, look at the stacked show we have here tonight.
Yeah, 2 Survivor Series matchups, if you will, and a championship match.
Tag mate Victoria now in the ring going at it here against Natalya. Oh, nice enziguri there by Natalya. Very athletic.
Yeah, if you look at it here, between all the women here, either in the ring or on the side of the ring, I think these would be basically considered the 2 veterans. They've been the longest in the wrestling organization. Uh-oh.
And now Natalya's setting her up the sharpshooter.
And it's cinched
She's got
in.
It locked in.
And I believe that was...
Carmella.
Yep.
Now going for a cover here. Victoria able to kick out.
Yeah, one thing I noticed there, that Naomi and Maria, they were actually, instead of going over and making sure that Carmella and Paige didn't interfere, they actually kind of got off the apron for a moment there. So that was kind of detrimental to the possibility of Victoria tapping out there to the sharpshooter, and a nice DDT there.
Spinning DDT off the turnbuckle. Here's the cover, and could not see the referee there, but they were able to make the save, and nobody has been eliminated yet in this match.
No, not yet. Oh, wow. Kind of a flying headbutt there by Victoria. Oh!
Here's a roll. There's a nice pin here. Natalya able to kick out after 1, I believe.
I think so, yeah. Charles Robinson kind of taking his time getting down in position to count that pin, but not exactly sure that Victoria would have gotten a 3 count.
Tag made. Here comes Maria and gets greeted by a clothesline there from Victoria.
Man. Oh, wow, nice reversal there by Maria. Whoa! Almost knocked Naomi off the ring apron. Naomi narrowly avoided that.
Oh, and went for an enziguri. Victoria able to counter.
Wow, and then a couple of clotheslines, and now the trifecta of clotheslines from the powerhouse Victoria. And here comes the champ.
Yeah, Carmella. That team of Carmella, Paige, and Victoria, they're all fired up on the outside there. Right before Carmella got the tag.
Oh!
Oh, big time DDT there from Maria.
That could be it. Oh, wow.
And Carmella able to just kicking out there.
Just barely.
How sweet would that have been for Maria if she could have eliminated the champion right there first thing in this match?
Absolutely. Now going in for the pin on Maria is Carmella. And just barely kicking out was Maria. Uh-oh. Oh, wow.
Swinging neck breaker. Now just slamming her head against the canvas there.
And now Carmella finds herself in the wrong part of town, wrong corner. Carmella luckily had her foot under the rope. That would have been a long way for both Paige and Victoria to have to traverse to try and break up a pinfall all the way over in the other corner.
Well, what's Carmella setting her up for here?
Oh, wow. Nice athleticism by Carmella. Now in for the pin on Maria. Oh, and that's it.
And she's eliminated.
That's it. Maria is gone, so for the second straight week, Carmella has pinned Maria. Oh! Uh-oh. Submission! Submission is in! Submission in by Carmella! And Naomi able to break that up. That was close. Looked like Natalya was about to tap.
Now the Real Raw team has a 3-2 advantage here, and oh!
Look at the strength of Natalya.
Boy, I thought Paige was going to give her Hurricanrana or something, but a nice counter into a power bomb.
Oh, and there's the sidewalk slam. And now Victoria, cover on Natalya. And referee Charles Robinson, he's got his hands full right now.
Oh, yeah. Seems like he has his hands full every week.
I think you're right.
Break.
I've talked to him about taking a break. Oh, look at this. Got a camel clutch by Natalya. Now, normally we see Natalya go for the sharpshooter. Camel clutch not really in her repertoire, but... Oh, and now look at this. Another submission, full Nelson.
It's like Carmella able to break it up there.
And Natalya and Naomi, they have to eliminate someone here as quickly as possible because right now they are in the hole 3-2.
And another camel clutch.
And this time Paige is breaking it up, yeah. Oh, now Natalya shot into the opposite corner, and here comes Paige. Oh, gonna go for a double team here, and oh, just driving the back of Natalya into the turnbuckles.
I was setting her up for a suplex, and Paige counters with a neck breaker. And here comes Victoria off the hot tag. Does not take down Natalya. I thought she was going to. Natalya able to duck out of the way. Tag made, here comes Naomi.
Side Russian leg sweep there by Victoria, and now Naomi in trouble. Now she's going to tag back into Natalya.
Who also misses there.
Nice drop kick by Victoria. Gonna drag Natalya to the center of the ring. Might be going for a pin here. Try and go up 3-1. Oh!
Bit of a miscue there by Natalya. Tag made, here comes Naomi. Against Carmella now.
So far, none of the members of Team Raw for Survivor Series have been eliminated. Only one person's been eliminated so far. That's Maria from the other team. And now Naomi could be in trouble. And I believe she got yes, she did. And now it's 3-on-1.
Natalya just coming up short on breaking up the pinfall there. Now we're down to just 3-1. Very impressive here. But
look at this. Feet on the ropes. Referee doesn't see it. And Natalya just pinned Carmella.
Wow. Well, desperate times call for desperate measures, I guess.
Well, when you're in a 3-on-1, do anything you can, I guess. Oh, look at this. Oh, went for a submission, but Paige had her left foot under the rope. Oh, look at the hang time. Blood rushing to the head of Paige.
Finally drops her there for the vertical suplex. Wow.
And could this make it 1-on-1? Yes, it does.
Look at Natalya. Wow.
And now it is 1-on-1. Victoria and Natalya.
I think Natalya's sending a message, probably saying, "Hey, I should be on Team Raw as well here."
Absolutely. Natalya has eliminated 2 members of the Survivor Series Team Raw Women's. And what if she could go for the sweep here? Oh, wait a minute. Bridge pin. And no, not able to. Victoria gets it.
But one hell of an effort there by Natalya. That was impressive, though.
Well, Team Raw Women's Division for Survivor Series, they come out on top, but it wasn't without a couple of eliminations. Now you got to wonder what Team Raw is going to look like against Team SmackDown at Survivor Series.
Oh, this should be good.
Well, up next, it's going to be a championship match John Cena takes on the Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and as we mentioned before, time for the championship match. John Cena coming out here right now.
I'll tell you what, Kyle, I was in the back before coming out here, and I passed by Samoa Joe. He is in a mood like I have never seen him before. I would not want to be John Cena right now.
I wouldn't either. We saw, we mentioned earlier, the quick work that Samoa Joe made in the fatal four-way match to earn his title shot. So there's no doubt that Samoa Joe really wants the title. He wants it bad.
Well, the crowd here letting John Cena know how they feel about him. As we've said, maybe one of the most mixed emotion wrestlers we've ever seen here.
Yeah, not much middle ground when it comes to Cena. People either love him or hate him.
And here comes a pretty ticked off Samoan, Samoa Joe. Former champion wants his title back. He's got a shot here tonight.
I mean, Samoa Joe's dangerous enough when he's in a regular mood. When he's in a foul mood, yeah, I wouldn't want to be in there with him. I am not jealous of Cena right now whatsoever.
Not at all. And we know that Samoa Joe, he can go for a long time. Remember back to when he went one-on-one with Michael Norman when he was the champion at the time. That matchup went on for about 15-20 minutes before he finally lost the championship. But Samoa Joe, he's definitely going to be bringing the fight to Cena, and Cena better prepare himself for this not to necessarily be a quick matchup.
Absolutely. I mean, for a man, as big as Samoa Joe is, he is very athletic, so Cena's going to have his hands full.
And I brought up this point last week as well. This is the first time in y.W.c. Raw that John Cena is going one-on-one with Samoa Joe. Remember Cena when he won the title? That was against the Icon Sting. He did not defeat Samoa Joe for the title. So this is the first time that these two are going one-on-one.
That's an interesting fact there, and it's like Joe's sending Cena into the turnbuckle.
John Cena, scary strong. You see him just lift the big Samoan.
Oh boy, working on the working on the arm there. You see, Cena is, and continuing to put pressure on that arm and shoulder.
That's a smart move there by Cena. Take away the arms, take away the legs, the outer extremities, and you take away a lot of Samoa Joe's offense. Oh my!
Kick right to the face. Boy,
wow! How tall do you think Cena is?
He's not short, that's for sure.
Good grief, Samoa Joe just lifted his leg and foot up right level with Cena's face.
I don't know how Cena isn't seeing stars right now.
Oh, and look at there.
Nice counter.
The quickness of Samoa Joe getting out of the way, and oh, now just raking the boot across the face of Cena. That just shows you what kind of a mood Samoa Joe is in. It's ground and pound. He doesn't care where he hits John Cena, just as long as he makes contact with him.
Exactly. The only thing he's probably worried about, just as long as he doesn't get disqualified, that's got to be his only concern.
Right.
Oh my God, the strength of Cena, though.
And you gotta wonder what Cena thought coming into this matchup, because we know for certain. Oh, nice shoulder tackle there by Cena. We know he was watching that Fatal 4-Way last week, and so you gotta wonder what was going through his mind, knowing that Samoa Joe made such quick work of his opponents.
Yes, and Cena was studying that, and he's probably studied some of Joe's other matches to prepare for this thing, and I don't know if that will totally, do it or not.
Oh,
nice belly-to-belly suplex.
very nice by Samoa Joe. Cena flung halfway across the ring. Oh, and look at this.
Boy, look at Cena fight back, though. I mean, they don't call him Big Match John for nothing.
I mean, we know that Samoa Joe's in a bad mood, but the last thing that Joe wants to do is get Cena into a bad mood, because remember, if Cena disqualifies himself, he's still the champion.
Absolutely. Another Luthes press, and Cena just hammering away on him right now.
And I think Cena realizes that, too, that he would not lose the title if there's a disqualification, so he's getting ready to give Samoa Joe all he can give him, and, oh, maybe a little five-knuckle shuffle?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
Setting him up.
Samoa Joe's wobbly. Look at the strength and attitude adjustment to Samoa Joe.
And he just lifted him up like it was nothing.
Is that going to be it? Will Cena retain his championship? Doesn't even get a 2 count.
Wow.
It's going to take a lot more than that to put Samoa Joe down. I remember back when Samoa Joe, Michael Norman had their match. There were about 8-9 pinning predicaments that Michael Norman had on Samoa Joe. It took him that long to even get a 2 count. So Samoa Joe is not going to go down that easily.
Absolutely not. And now he's taken, I guess he...
Oh my, look at that. Into a full Nelson suplex. Wow.
Now he's got the bridge here. 1, 2, and Cena able to kick out after 2.
And look at that. That was...
It's like Samoa...
I've never seen that before. First the German suplex, then he switched it into the full Nelson, then back to the German. Kind of the different levitations, the different amounts of pressure that are put on the neck with each suplex. Oh, look at this!
And a roll-up. Yeah, Samoa Joe took John Cena to his own version of Suplex City right there. Boy, if him and Brock Lesnar were to have a match, that would be getting very interesting.
Oh, and look at this. He's got the submission in. Samoa Joe with the rear naked choke on John Cena has the legs grapevine. Is Cena going to tap with his championship on the line?
Cena struggling right now. Charles Robinson all over it, and wow, Cena's able to break free of it somehow.
I think Samoa Joe might have thought he had choked Cena out, and that's why he released the hold, but Cena able to get back up to his feet. Oh my!
And man, it seems like every time it looks like Cena, might be down and out, he just reaches down deep into another level in a big-time vertical suplex.
Well, you called him Big Match John. That's what he does. When it looks like he's down and out, all of a sudden he seems to kind of find a little reservoir of strength he hasn't tapped into yet.
Nice counter into a side Russian leg sweep there by Samoa Joe. Look at Cena fight right back. Oh!
Atomic drop by Samoa Joe. Look at that. Look at the reversal after reversal, but Cena going to get the better of this one. Oh my. Oh, wow!
Golly. That hurts my back just watching it.
That is pure raw strength into the cover, and that did it!
Wow.
Samoa Joe was able to kick out of the attitude adjustment, but that move he was not able to. And John Cena weathers the early storm. He's still the Raw y.W.c champion.
Very, very impressive there from Cena.
Well, up next, it's going to be the Survivor Series team of Raw, and here comes one member of it, AJ Styles.
The phenomenal one making his way out here. And boy, you look at Team Raw. I mean, this is a powerful team right here. So, got this man right here, AJ Styles, and you have Kurt Angle and Michael Norman. Boy, it's gonna be an interesting match here come Survivor Series. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'll tell you, when I knew the fact that SmackDown it was going to be the y.W.c World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk along with the tag team champions Big Show and Shinsuke Nakamura, I thought there's no way that there could possibly be a team that could beat this trio. Well, I can definitely tell you, I think that Raw has put themselves right back on a level playing field at Survivor Series, no doubt about that.
Oh yes.
And you know, we saw the women's Survivor Series team earlier on tonight kind of get pushed to the limit. It came down to a one-on-one. What are we going to see here? I mean, we don't know who the team is that's going to be taking on Styles, Angle, and Norman, but you got to wonder if they're going to maybe push this men's Survivor Series team to the limit.
They very well could. I mean, like like we saw in the women's match, this other team that Team Raw is going to be facing right now, they got to be thinking, hey, this is an opportunity to show that, we deserve to be on Team Raw as well. So if they go out there and win, or at least put up a good showing, they may get their point across.
Well, speaking of, well...
Okay, then. Another new entrance music for Michael Norman. You never really know with him anymore.
No, you don't. You don't. Well, I'm not exactly sure what Ice Ice Baby, what kind of message he's trying to give, but regardless.
Go from Exotic Butters to Ice Ice Baby. Okay.
Oh, I don't know. I'm kind of worried to find out what intro he's going to be having for Survivor Series now.
Oh, you and me both.
Maybe like a Chipmunk song or something. I don't know.
It wouldn't surprise me whatsoever.
Well, here comes one person that'll be taking on the Survivor Series team on the other end of the ring. The Real American, Jack Swagger.
Wow, the Real American Jack Swagger going to be in the ring at the same time against the Olympic gold medalist, Kurt Angle. This should be fun.
Yeah, this should be very interesting. Yeah, both of them well known as far as a lot of accolades in college. Of course, Kurt Angle going on and winning the Olympics, but both of these guys, their persona, their gimmicks ever since they've been in wrestling has really been around American pride.
Oh my.
Rollins. Well, again, Survivor Series team on Raw not going up against a couple of mid-carders. Here comes Seth Rollins, who's the very first y.W.c champion.
I mean, look at Seth Rollins. If you'd have told me that, hey, Seth Rollins is going to be representing Raw at Survivor Series, I would not be surprised whatsoever. So it's, a bit of a surprise that he isn't.
Yeah, I agree.
Goes to show you how stacked this roster is.
So we know it'll be Swagger. We know it'll be Rollins. Who's the third member? Oh, well, okay. The former Intercontinental Champion, Chris Jericho, is going to be the third member to take on the Raw Survivor Series team. And I'll tell you what, you look here and you've got the athleticism of AJ Styles, counter that with Seth Rollins. You've got the American pride and power of Kurt Angle and Jack Swagger, and then you've got the savviness of the general manager of Raw, the general manager of Raw, Michael Norman, and the veteran savviness of Chris Jericho. So, looks like we got ourselves pretty even teams here.
Oh, definitely. This should be a really good match. Styles will start things off against Swagger here.
And again, same as we saw in the women's match earlier tonight, pinfall submission. If you are pinned or submitted, you head to the back. We could, again, like we saw before, see a 3-on-1 situation, and then it could come right down to 1-on-1.
Absolutely. We saw in the women's match, it looked like, Team Raw had that thing well in hand, but, boy, the Talia, made a great comeback there and nearly pulled off a really good comeback as Styles had Swagger rolled up. Now a nice counter here by Swagger.
Whoa, look at the bridge by Styles. And now the pinning predicaments finally break up. You look here in this Raw Survivor Series team, and a couple of these guys, AJ Styles taking on James Ellsworth. Now, granted, there's no doubt AJ Styles is one of the most talented guys on the Raw roster, but he didn't exactly go up against a real bona fide wrestler, a real experienced wrestler. And then you look at how Kurt Angle got onto the Survivor Series team, the use of the brass knuckles. So you got to wonder if, those kind of shortcuts, if Team Raw might use that in their Survivor Series match.
That is a very good point. I mean, you never know with Kurt Angle right there, and Styles goes over to the corner, tagging in Angle, and what a nice belly-to-belly suplex there on Chris Jericho.
Absolutely. Oh, look at that. Both Seth Rollins and Jack Swagger in to break up that pinfall. So we know that
shot right to the back of the head there from Jericho.
So now we also know what the Survivor Series men's tag team matchup will look like. Michael Norman, general manager of Raw, the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle, and the phenomenal AJ Styles taking on Big Show, the world's largest athlete, Shinsuke Nakamura, and the best in the world, the y.W.c World Heavyweight Champion, CM Punk.
Yeah, you got, I guess you can call it, SmackDown's team champions right there, as you just mentioned, the tag champions and the world champion over there. So, Team Raw's going to have their hands full, but it should be a really good match here regardless.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I look here, I made the comparison between the two tag teams here in this matchup. Well, if you take and you compare the tag team for SmackDown, the tag team for Raw, you've got the strength of the Big Show. That can be countered by the strength of Kurt Angle. You've got the athleticism of AJ Styles, counter that with the athleticism of Shinsuke Nakamura, and then maybe the wild cards could possibly be General Manager Michael Norman and the World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk, because, one thing that I've noticed is out of Team SmackDown, Shinsuke Nakamura, Big Show, they're usually in a matchup just about every week. CM Punk's only been in a couple of matchups, usually at pay-per-views when his title's on the line. So CM Punk hasn't had a whole lot of ring experience here in y.W.c since making his debut. We'll have to see if that might affect him here in the upcoming pay-per-view at Survivor Series.
And another, thing to go against CM Punk, he may have his, he may be, on the lookout that entire match because, as we've seen the last couple of weeks on SmackDown, the underdogs of the underground, they've been, they've attacked him on a number of occasions, so, that's going to be on the back of his mind, too, so that could be a little bit of an advantage here for Team Raw if that's the case. Yeah,
last week actually was one of the attacks on CM Punk, and so also with that being said, a more recent attack, you got to wonder if CM Punk's going to be quite at 100% come Survivor Series.
That's another good point right there.
And speaking of the underdogs of the underground, we're going to be seeing what's going to be going on as far as that development later on this week on SmackDown. We know that it's going to be Team Cole versus Team Underdogs. Team Cole consisting of SmackDown Commissioner Seth Cole as well as Brock Lesnar and, surprise, surprise, Sami Zayn, who a lot of the rumors were swirling around was the leader of the Underdogs, and lo and behold, he is not.
Yeah, I mean, that answered one question. Is Sami Zayn the masked figure? No, he's not, but that leaves us with the big question right there. Who is it?
Exactly.
Now, we have absolutely no idea who it is. So,
well, if Team Cole can knock off Team Underdogs at Survivor Series, we will find out. The Underdogs have agreed to the stipulation that if they lose, Styles clash there by AJ Styles on Chris Jericho.
Couldn't tell if Jericho kicked out or
I
Swagger
think he
was able
did.
to make the save.
I think Jericho just barely kicked out. But, look out, Charles. Charles getting right in the middle of these two. But if Team Cole is able to beat Team Underdogs, the leader will be unmasked on SmackDown the following week.
Well, AJ Styles in a really bad place right now in the corner of Jericho and Rollins, and it's like Kurt Angle and Jack Swagger going at it on the outside here. Tag made. There comes Norman. And nice teamwork between Michael Norman and AJ Styles.
Absolutely. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Michael Norman is a born leader. He knows how to get people behind him, and right there, I'm not the least bit surprised that he and Kurt Angle and AJ Styles, that they're working well together right now.
Tag made. Styles back in the ring as he takes out Jack Swagger over there on the corner.
Swagger just bounced off the barrier out here. Oh, and now there's a whole melee.
Oh!
Oh, code breaker on the outside. Jericho just popped Styles up into the air and delivered the code breaker to him. And now everybody's fighting out here.
Angle rolled into the ring, and Charles Robinson really has his hands full now, trying to contain everybody.
I think the two legal competitors are Styles and I think Jericho. And now it looks like they both have gotten back into the ring, so referee Charles Robinson will stop his 10 count.
Nice belly-to-belly suplex. Styles onto Jericho. Now what's AJ going to do here? Oh,
I think he was going for a forearm, but I think he missed it. Yeah. I think he was expecting Jericho to get back to his feet, but Jericho, after the belly-to-belly, seemed to be a bit winded, wasn't able to quite get back up onto his feet yet.
And here you see it again, more great teamwork there from Michael Norman and AJ Styles. Haven't seen too much of an angle here lately as Norman knocking Rollins off the apron there.
Yeah, but while Norman was distracted with Rollins, that gave Jericho a little bit of time to get up and regroup. Oh, nice DDT by Jericho on the Raw General Manager Michael Norman, and oh wow, now
what is Jericho doing? What's he wanting to go into the top?
Oh!
Drops the elbow right into the heart of Norman, but Norman able to get right back up. Tag made. Rollins into the ring now and sets him up for an abdominal stretch.
Yep, he got the submission in on Michael Norman, and I think that might have been Swagger was able to just barely get in there and break up that submission. Uh-oh. Swagger. Oh, my. Gutbuster there on Michael Norman now leaves Norman to Seth Rollins. And Rollins might be ready to pick up the scrap. Shoots the half. Here's the cover. Oh. And I think...
Oh, Norman just...
I think he just barely got out.
Was a save made there. Don't know if there was a save made there or if he just kicked out. And that was a nice swinging neck breaker on Seth Rollins.
Yeah, and I think somebody might have grazed AJ Styles. Took Styles a little while to get up there.
Norman going for the cover, and Styles able to kick out. Jericho tried to make the save there, but was not needed.
Norman there with a nice forearm.
Surprisingly enough, nobody's been eliminated from this match either. So, like the women's matches, we've going a pretty good way without an elimination so far.
Oh wow! AJ Styles taking down Michael Norman, and now all the way across the ring, delivering a knee there. I believe I just said AJ Styles. I meant to say Seth Rollins. My apologies.
Very similar in style there, and boy, a near fall there. Michael Norman just able to kick out of that.
Actually, it looked like Norman actually threw Seth Rollins off of him. Michael Norman deceptively strong.
Now Charles Robinson distracted here by Jack Swagger. Now a cover. And looks
Rollins pinned him. Rollins got him.
Oh, he did. Wow.
So Michael Norman will head to the back. And now it's 3-on-2. And Kurt Angle, AJ Styles find themselves in a bit of a predicament here.
Now a roll up from Rollins. Oh, and a super kick right to the...
That hit its mark, and Jericho deposits Styles out. This could be it for Angle. Oh, he just barely kicked out.
This is not... Now setting him up for a pedigree.
Is it going to be 3-on-1?
Angle.
Oh, wow.
Angle gets right back up. Right after the pedigree. You do not see that from anybody.
Not at all. And of course comes the question. We saw Team SmackDown. They were victorious last week against the New Day. If Team Raw loses here tonight, what's that going to do for their psyche heading into Survivor Series?
That's a good question.
Oh, look at that. Nice reversal there by Styles as Rollins had the armbar in for a moment. Roll up. Oh, look at Styles distracting the referee. I think Angle's used the brass knucks again.
He very well could have, and 1, 2, and Angle got it.
Yes, he did. Rollins is eliminated. I think Styles had the referee distracted, and Angle used the brass knuckles that he used last week. Oh!
Tag made. Here comes Rollins. Or not Rollins, Styles. And, well, I don't know what he was thinking there, but...
Driving the elbow into the chest, it looked like there. Kind of a modified flying forearm, a 2 count there on Swagger. And now it is all even, 2-on-2. Michael Norman for Team Raw sent to the back. For the other team, Seth Rollins. It's now Styles and Angle versus Jericho and Swagger.
And Styles is eliminated.
Wow.
This is not looking good here for Team Raw heading into Survivor Series. They are down 2-1 now. They have not had the advantage at all in this match.
I thought for a moment there Styles wasn't even going to go to the back. He was kind of standing there seeing if his services were needed. Angle trying to even things up here with the pin on Swagger. And Jericho breaks it up. Well, we saw Kurt Angle cut corners with the brass knuckles on Seth Rollins. Is he going to be able to weasel his way here out of a 2-on-1 predicament?
Swagger going for the cover. This could be it here.
Referee in position. 1, 2.
And he got him.
And that will do it. Team Raw unsuccessful. Swagger, Jericho, and Rollins have beaten Team Raw.
That is not a confidence booster for Team Raw heading into Survivor Series. As you mentioned, it should be interesting to see how they regroup. Well, that's going to do it for this week on Raw.
See you guys on SmackDown.